Hello, and welcome to another match of the Settlers 4 World Championship 2025. Now we are in the semi-finals, and we're watching SF Jessen 20 as the blue Trojan in the bottom left against TCG Slayer as the teal light blue Mayans in the top right. I'm very excited for the match, and as a heads up for anybody that is confused why Jessen is playing and not Gurkenkrieger, who technically won the quarterfinals against Jessen. Reason is Gurkenkrieger doesn't have time anymore to participate in the tournament. I assume he wasn't expecting to actually get that far, as he at least isn't a known name in the community. And yeah, he doesn't have time anymore, is I don't know, somewhere holidays kind of thing. So I don't know what he's doing, but he doesn't have time anymore. And as the rules say, if one player can't find a time, then the player they last won against will go on in the knockout stage, and that's what we're in. So we are seeing Jessen play against TCG Slayer in this semi-final. This is game 1, obviously. And we are on a map by Lemon, which some people say something. For me it doesn't really too much, but we're seeing that the stone situation is good enough, but it's weird to play as the stone is quite like just actively away from the mountain or behind the mountain. I guess probably not too bad. The forest is probably placed as, I don't know, it could be towards the front, which in some opinion, like some people might think it's better, some might think it's worse. Doesn't really matter that much if the large stone field in front of the mountain, which in this case for both civs I think is pretty good. We're having Trojans against Mayans. Really nice close desert. And the river, I mean both civs aren't too reliant on a good river, but the river is very nicely working here as well. Quite long, top, above the forest. I do think the Trojan, you can kind of ignore the river a bit here, as you do have this, this isn't a sea, but this is a lake here that can be used for fishes. Yeah, and with that I don't think you should have an issue with fishing. Same... not same goes for the Mayan, but similar. Like, I think you kind of want to have a little bit more space on your river, but you also need a little bit less forest, so it's pretty equal in that regard. Yeah, let's have a little bit of a look at the... Actually, before we talk about the start, this thing so far... Actually, no, I already noticed something. Not every player does a medium house. Now thinking back, I casted, I think, game 1 of Gurkenkrieger against Jessen. Well, and Jessen played Trojan there as well, so I'm not quite sure if the medium house is... If he used it there already, but really not the most common play to be doing, especially on such a start where you can technically place all 4 stone cutters, which he didn't do either, so you really don't have a stone issue. On the other side, I assume everything was normal. I didn't quite see if there was a small house at the beginning, but I'd assume so. All 5 stone cutters at the beginning, placed immediately. Sawmill really nicely placed in between here. Forest is coming up. I'd like him to go up to 6 lumberjacks before actually going into the iron smelter and stuff, but he already is going into that. I think the little bit of extra wood eco doesn't hurt if you have 5 stone cutters instantly. Yeah, geologist on the mountain. Okay, I wanted to talk about a little bit about the matchup. I am kind of excited to see this, as both are pretty good players, and it's more surprising that Jessen managed to lose, or I say managed to lose, or Gurkenkrieger managed to win against Jessen, as Jessen is a player that is known to just be playing relatively small builds, is strong at peacetime, and kind of wins the game from there. Keeps the economy running, just has a pretty decent, stable build-up. And Slayer, as the world champion, tends to be a little bit more creative, and over the time has started to build bigger and bigger, and therefore tends to have a very large economy, and also tends to be able to actually keep it running. So it's more a thing of we'll see if Jessen is able to do something at peacetime or relatively soon after, as I think Slayer should be able to outscale Jessen in the long run. Considering the map, I think this is also map-wise possible. You do have enough stone fields in a close enough area around where you want to build that Marion can build up really quickly. You do have the closed desert, and you have lots of mountain available, which also is a benefit to the Trojan here. I think Trojan build-up would be really nice here. Yeah, building 3 sawmills into iron smelter and toolsmith towards the mountain, so far away from the starting resources I don't really like, as the starting coal and starting iron will take way longer to be brought all the way down to the iron smelter and toolsmith before they actually start working. Yes. 3 sawmills. Still continues to build medium houses. So in a very awkward positioning, I'd say. I'm a little bit surprised that we don't see medium house being placed here. Even already a large house pre-digging. The lovely thing. And on the other side we already see the iron smelter right next to the starting tower, as you'd expect it to be. Iron smelter finish. I think settlers right now are a little short. They have the longer distances to the stone cutters or something. I mean, yeah, some are bringing stuff already up there, but I think the medium house here just didn't finish up quickly enough. Did he skip the small houses entirely? That might be another reason why the settler situation looks so incredibly thin. But yeah, gets the coal over, produce the first iron bar. Now that just has to be settler around that actually can pick up the iron bar. And the toolsmith is able to work already. On the other side, still quite a bit more delayed. There was lots more wood being built by Jessen. Settler situation, therefore also a little better, I'd say. There is some pings of people looking at the mountain, a double iron mine, nice, lovely. Did Jessen already uncover that? Check, where is this on the mountain? Towards there, and it's there. So the double iron mine should be kinda like this, probably. We'll look how it looks for Jessen and if he'll use the same mine. Right now, the mountain situation for Jessen, for how much he has uncovered, really isn't looking nice. You don't see a coal mine yet, you do see an iron mine that works. Of course there's gonna be one coming up that's better anyways, but yeah. Places a coal mine on that side. But yeah, Jessen doesn't even have geologists there, so it's gonna be a little bit of a hunt for coal. Could be like in this area. Nobody looked here yet. Iron smelter now finishes up around 2 minutes later than the one of Slayer, and those will take longer to be brought there, so probably start working a minute later Iron smelter similar, toolsmith similar timing on both sides, so I think a 2-minute slower toolsmith timing is very normal and totally fine as a Trojan compared to the Marians, but them actually like starting work quite delayed is a little bit of a bummer. Yeah, at least I think he did start the toolsmith. Maybe not, maybe it's still the same coal that is brought down there. Nah, they're picking up more coal. That's important, otherwise the coal would take ages to be brought down there. You could also micro that your coal from the iron smelter is brought over, which is nice and can help out, but in this case the worker has to walk all the way anyways, and if you do it instantly when the toolsmith finished up, which I think he did pretty much, I think this is like the coal that is brought with the worker right in front of them. Works out perfectly fine. You cannot get a tower in there, I'm not quite sure what he is trying to dig there. Pioneer. I see now the iron mine here, that is, yeah, I mean it should be working better than normal iron mine. It's not amazing though. Not the greatest you've ever seen. And we're gonna... I hope that Jessen can find some more coal. Or pioneer some coal. As right now, that is the thing that is lacking the most. On the other side, the mines are now coming up. First few stonecutters finished up fully. We see some farms towards the top, away from the mountain, towards the second stone field. I think that is the right decision to be building in this area right now. I think that should be the general approach for both players, trying to get your first starting stone field and the mountain for your mines, and enough forest that you can like build all your lumberjacks and foresters you want, and then get your diggers over to this side, get your farms, whatever kind of farms you're building, grain farms or sunflower farms, and already build the towers in this area, so that whenever you're like done and you need more stone cutter, like you have your diggers in this kind of area, you get your few lumberjacks to get rid of this forest, maybe this forest as well, but that one probably a little later. I'll mostly focus on this area right now, getting your fruit/sunflowers in here, and then afterwards you can take all your diggers from up there down here, build lots of heavy industry. Trojan, you probably want to try to even keep like this quadrant open a bit, so that you have more space for your heavy industry. And yeah, in the meantime, try to pioneer behind the mountain already to get that stone when you're going more towards this area, I suppose. And Jessen is apparently lucky that there is a coal mine there that he is now actually finding. That looks good enough of a coal mine to me. Oops. Tower is building. Iron mine was placed. Oh, actually this is, yeah, bringing the pioneers somewhere else. But yeah, this is rather unfortunate. Oh, I think he is, yeah, that's nice. That's a nice play. He is put the working area of the stone cutter towards this stone, so that he can get rid of that, and then he should be able to place a tower there to get the mountain and the rest of the starting stone field. Right now 2, 4, 6, 7, and he builds 2 more up there. I think I'd liked him to try tower towards the second stone field a bit more aggressively earlier, get some stone cutters up there a bit earlier as well, similar to how Slayer did it. First few farms started working 13-minute mark. In the 13 minute. No, in the 14th minute, technically. That's nice. 3 grain farms. There's lots of buildings predict. This looks very nicely done so far. 3 sawmills. up and running how you'd expect. With 3... 11... Yep, 11 stone cutters, also as you'd expect. The running iron smelter has already made some pioneers. They should actually be moving over. Kinda want to get a tower in here as well. But I'd probably prioritize this tower. It's a little bit more important one. It gets you stone and mountain. Already is towering towards the rest of these stone fields. Player, I think, knows what he is wanting to do and does it very well. I see only 5 of the grain farms. I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's the butcher. We see the animal ranch. I think 1, 2, 3 bakeries, 1, 2 mill, sawmill, Fisher, waterwork, Fisher, waterwork. Oh, the 6 grain farm is all the way up there. Interesting. Did just have a few striking settlers, but I assume he just made some thieves. Yes, 5 thieves now. Oh wait, no, those 5 thieves are the Trojan thieves. Oh, not quite sure what happened there. Maybe it was just 1 settler and that settler was immediately done with it again. Done with the striking. Ooh, so these are running over to Jessen already. Over to Slayer from Jessen. Yeah, the coal mine is unfortunately delayed. Both of those, both the toolsmith and the iron smelter already ran out of coal. I say that technically the iron smelter ran out of iron ore first. But yeah, now it's the last coal used. Iron bar already brought their iron ore, but no coal. The workers only now. Nope, that's not the right one. And worker is still on the way there. House situation or settler situation looks phenomenal. It's going into the first few sunflower farms with 4 sawmills. Classic Jessen, small build. Most people play 5 sawmills. He's only going up to 4. Maybe adds his 5th one later, but not right now at least. That gets him... I think he's generally a little bit delayed. So I think the first few sunflower farms are standing a little late for a 4th sunflower farm already. Here I think what's mentioned is that I think most of these grain farms were built in either one go or close to, like the builders almost finished the building and then the last zone came and the builders were still standing in the area. But this 6 grain farm is standing so far away from the zone that the builders finished their work and ran away already before the 9th stone was brought. So that's critique to the farm placement there. But technically, if you have this tower ready early enough, place the farm probably in like this area. This area should be good enough for the farm to be planting the grain, eating the grain. Oh, yeah. Is that a double stone mine? I didn't pay attention too much. Yeah, definitely can build that early. I like that play. Also already getting into some gold. Gold ore situation. Oh, double iron mine. Gold ore situation. That thief is gonna die. Funnily enough, I just realized, technically if you wanted to, you could push a bowman into the PT wall. And by pushing, I mean you always have it close to the bowman, so the bowman is in the like too close to the thief, so the minimum range makes him want to move away. When the bowman then moves away, you can kind of push him in there. That thief will also be killed. Another thief was already caught, probably somewhere more up in this area. Some thieves were brought out by Slayer as well, as it seems. Old storage. That surprises me a bit. Why he's prioritizing the bread over the animals, over the meat. Most Mayans, or most players that play normal grain farm builds, always prioritize meat. Only thing that I could think about is that he's like, I mean, you have a good enough hunter, I'd say. Like, it's not a bad hunter. You can build another one over here to get these animals. You're towering far enough. Hunter over there, hunter over there. Not right now, of course. Doesn't have the bows yet. And yeah, we have one double iron mine. 2, 3. That would be like the other thing that would make me think of prioritizing bread. But I think he's prioritizing bread also because he builds the stone mines so incredibly early. So he kind of wants the extra bread there. Not quite sure about that play. Right now we're seeing a water shortage. The waterworks weren't standing early enough, and now the first bakery already took up all the water. Actually, there's some water good there. The sieve of Jessen actually made it through. Okay, now let's have another look at Jessen's settlement. Small, very small build-up, I think. Yes, it's very small. 4 sunflower farms, 4 sawmills. This is what I recommend beginners play as Trojan. Actually goes up to 6 sawmills. But he's already made the gold smelter and the large temple being built. Has enough stone around. Already has 1 large house. Yeah, it's nothing burning here. Oh, is adding a 5th sawmill. Okay. Yeah, I like that. I actually like this. I don't technically like the 5th sawmill to be this late, but it's like this is the kind of approach where you can't really fail. And that I don't mind. Like you go for your 5th sawmill, so you have your initial sunflower production, so you get like a really early large temple timing, but you don't really like you are still building enough economy to actually stand up long enough, because these kind of like 4 sunflower, 4 sawmill builds, those were really strong in times where Trojan doesn't matter. Trojan has seen lots of nerfs over time, and yeah, those builds were really strong without the nerfs. And I think nowadays, with all the nerfs, it's kind of mandatory to play 5 sawmills. And I don't think 6 sunflower farms is mandatory, but I think 5 sawmills is pretty mandatory. There are times where you can manage to play bad enough that you can't use all your 5 sawmills to their fullest extent, but you should always be able to use them mostly. Especially if you kind of manage to keep your diggers in check, working all the time. Yeah, we see already the battery being placed and the first few mines also built. I'm not quite sure if we only put half of it on prior, or if that's just kind of a coincidence of yeah, he put those on prior, settler started running, so that's what got resources yet. I think he's actively only building half. This is like no stone coming. And stone would be the thing that he has enough of, but there's just no stone coming. So I think he's actively only put half of it on prio, which definitely surprises me, as I don't see a good reason to do that. Arch Temple is finishing up. Here's a swordsman around, so no C's are hurting him there. Arch Temple being digged by Slayer, as he is building probably a small mana economy. We have 3 gay farms right now. It's not the biggest for now, and I don't think he's gonna make it big either. Is a small temple? 7th grain farm? What is Slayer up to? I think Slayer is securing his stone? Not sure about that. Because I think you really have enough stone for quite a while. You have this stone field and this stone field. Like you have this and this to build your food. Then you have this, this and this to start your heavy industry. This to finish your heavy industry. And yeah, even if you build like this mana, I think I can agree with. I don't know, prioritizing the bread. Yeah, there's even more meat that was that Slayer missed out on by not having the butcher ready early enough, so the animal ranch idled for a bit. Yeah, he's quite he prioritized bread, built some mana, which I feel like both are indications of wanting to secure stone. Not sure if he's gonna he's gonna store grain with 7 grain farms, unless he's wanting to build an 8th one as well somewhere. So he's storing it up, and then we'll see if he's using it for more bread or for more meat. Thief was killed. Say Thief was killed. No, Thief is sacrificed. As for other thieves now, make it past the bowman. Ooh, and one more thief was killed there. All these thieves they have to scatter in all directions so they can't be caught. We have swordsmen coming from most directions. I think so far the thieves have done a great job at scattering. I feel like this one is gonna get through. This one might be caught. This one's gonna get through for now. I think the thief inside the settlement here was either killed or moved somewhere completely else that I can't find it. Can't find him. Let's have a look back here. We see some gifts. I have zero clue. Probably some resources already brought away. The battery is finishing up now. Old battery. I remember Jessen saying that he literally doesn't know how to build a 7.2 battery, which with this placement I don't even know if it's possible. Oh, those are offensive barracks that have been pinged by some of these castles here. Why the offensive barracks? Yeah, we have 6 sunflower farms now, 2nd large house, 3rd large house actually. With the priest, with probably some priest somewhere here surely, right? This isn't a priest that he's just chilling with. Could technically cast it now. I probably could use it as well. Actually, cold situations are fine, but once you use the stone mine preferably, I'll just have it idle around. Yep. He did now cast. Looks like everything was... Every mine was hit as you'd expect it to be. He's rebuilding the medium houses. And is now going into heavy industry. Already see the first few being placed. We have the storages for it. The mines are now going to finish as well for it. Yeah, has some pickaxes available as it seems. Yeah, should be a pretty nice heavy industry timing. And Veneric is giving me some intel about the old battery that I have zero clue of how to... What's Nicots? Okay. So if he builds it in a certain way, which it isn't from the original way how it was first brought up, isn't exactly, but if you place the stone mine in the middle, one higher than the normal spot for it, you can replace the bottom left sulfur mine with a stone mine. So technically this is also replaceable to a 7.2 battery. But Jessen already said that he doesn't know how to, so we know that he won't be doing it. And I'm not sure if he even has to. I think we had two double iron mines over there. But I don't think there are more. We have the starting iron mine that probably should be working a bit better. That's two. Okay, there we have another one. A little bit more iron. But yeah, not the crazy amounts of double iron mines that we had in the last game where he just didn't know how to build a 7.2 battery. Unfortunately. Lots of heavy industry now placed. 3 barracks, I think, is a little excessive with the placement that they have. I think this is a very nice barracks placement. It's not close to your battery. You can build some large houses in like this area to have settlers close enough, and then you should be fine with 2 barracks. To be fair, I think the storages have to be a little bit nicer than this, because this storage is nice, but you only have 1 storage, and when you have 4 storages and you want to kind of like use up this storage, which isn't perfect for this or for like both of the barracks, kind of can become a little sluggish. Recruiting. You should still be able to recruit everything with 2 barracks nonetheless. But I think he just doesn't want to run into that issue again that he had in the game against Gurkenkrieger, where he just couldn't recruit all the soldiers in time. Slayer, instead of going into heavy industry, went into a second toolsmith and a large temple. Large temple coming in nice and early. So nice and early that all of his stone cutters are laying full. I say that, but in the meantime his initial starting stone field is running dry. Yeah, should come nice. Get some... Oh wait, if that's not the first temple, it's probably the third. Probably one gift, rebuild it, a second gift. I completely missed that. Looking at Jessen's settlement for a little too long. I like how I managed to miss both of the players' gifts that they casted. Yeah, he did build the 7th grain farm and has a floor storage? I was expecting grain storage. Is grain not overflowing? Does he have a 3rd mill? That was actually a medium house, not a 3rd bakery. The 3rd bakery is all the way down here with the 4th sawmill. And that priest is apparently going to cast some stone in here instead of up there. A little surprised by that. There's behind the mountain to get the stone. And overall, conquering this third mountain. This one mountain field to the top is ignored by both players, as it seems. Jessen is also behind the mountain at the 2 stone fields. Behind it is placing lots and lots and lots of mines. Has more mines than he has pickaxes. There's a few gold smelters standing, which do have enough coal, but are lacking the gold ore. I say that, but there's a gold storage, so the gold ore is only lacking because of the distance that the gold ore has to travel. And as we have the first 3 iron smelters, we're gonna see the first weaponsmiths. And that is 2 weaponsmiths that should be running from minute 35 onwards, which is very nice. Those are gonna produce lots of weapons up until peacetime. Most of the weapons you need / want to be able to say you had a good round. One thief still managed to make it into Slayer's settlement. They kind of are distracting each other a little bit here and there with the thieves, as I think Slayer's thieves. I haven't seen them in Jessen's settlement, but I'm not seeing them in the areas I've seen them before either, where they were along the axis. So I have 0 clue where they are. Oops, these are full storages, storing gold bars, gold ore, iron ore, coal, has everything available in absolute abundance, and the first heavy industry is now actually coming up. With 2 large houses, and these have to finish somewhat quickly, because once all of these buildings are finished, I think these kind of settlers will all be kind of... Nah, they won't be used up. They just pick up the ore from the storage, bring it over, and they're done. Because all of this heavy industry is so close to the storage, that will totally be fine. And then the large houses will manage to finish up before the rest of the heavy industry is gonna be done. So that timing should work out very nicely. Yeah, now we're seeing grain. Some mana. My gaze. Did cast another gift to then crush the large temple. It's apparently actively microing that to just have a large temple rebuilding the entire time. I think that's a very nice play. As a Marion, this like small mana eco and rebuilding a large temple the entire time, and using like lots of gifts and lots of stone spells you can cast that way. Only downside, I think, is that why do you make a second toolsmith if you're making that many gifts? You're gonna get lots of hammers, lots of pickaxes. I think he's probably at like 3 or 4 gifts already, which... to be fair, not everybody wants to rely on gifts. I am one of the people that never wants to rely on gifts. But it does kind of bring up that question of how worth is the second toolsmith. In that case, we see a 5th sawmill maybe? No, we do not see a 5th sawmill yet. I think right now buildings tend to finish up. A little bit of a closer view of these buildings. This is stone. Okay, it's stone that's missing, and stone that's missing because the stone is coming from all the way up there. Or back here? No, back here doesn't exist yet. We have 1 stone mine there, which is paused. And a thief over there. Not quite sure if Jessen wants to actively try to deal some damage with the thieves or if they are to get some scouting info. Yeah, right now it looks very nice for Jessen. Already has the third weaponsmith up and running. And the fourth one is gonna be added very soon as well. And I think with the iron bar situation on these, we found this one I can't see. But at least these two seem to have a good iron bar situation. We have the iron smelters ready, so I think this one will also be running at least smoothly for the initial bit. And apparently there's a thief somewhere on the screen that is being killed. No clue where. But I did hear the combat music. The only thing I'm currently a little bit concerned about, I think, is the coal situation, at least on the iron smelters. It looks quite thin. Gold ore is pre-stored. Yeah, we have some coal mines from back there that kind of, I think, only now really started working. Yeah, you kind of want a tower here real quick. There's like coal mines everywhere. I guess like these coal mines you have to pioneer nonetheless, but at least this you get the double iron mine, this and this. Lots of coal mines. Oh, this is a nice stone mine. Is it this? Yeah, probably. No, there's one extra stone mine and then there's coal, so you place it there. Okay, see. More fish in the middle. Yes, they already went over here to be able to place the coal mines, a double iron mine. Lots of mines in that area. Seeing that coal is also now gone, at least in the storages. And yeah, the first few heavy industry buildings, or like the last few heavy industry buildings that have finished are getting their coal delayed, slash they just don't get coal. Like you see 2 coal, 3 coal. We had 1 coal here just a bit. Dude is working right now. Right now 0 maybe? Yeah, okay, so it seems to be just fine for the time being. Okay, I want to add, because you can't see in stream, that Leia talked about the barracks here being the most front barracks he has ever seen. Yeah. I mean, we have the... Is that a medium? Yeah, that's a medium, small tower. Interesting. But yeah, we have the watchtower here towards the front. Already scouting the front barracks. Yeah, Jessen does not hide his intentions to be ready at peacetime to do some action. And yeah, I wanted to, so the core situation, settlers seem to be fine. He is building the mines that will probably be enough when they finish up. For the time being, I think things are probably gonna run very thin on coal. Maybe actually active coal shortage. Stone still running from all the way up there, which is a little sad, but buildings seem to be finishing up most of the time. I wanted to actually check, which I didn't. Weaponsmith count. Now they are quite delayed. But it's 6 weaponsmiths already. They are delayed compared to Jessen's, but it's already 6 weaponsmiths now. I think he's also still only on 4 sawmills. 4 sawmills, 2 toolsmiths. Did he get scammed by some early mines? I'm a little surprised that he builds the second toolsmith here. That's something I want to ask him after the match, why he decides to go for second toolsmith when he's making casting lots of gifts, and he doesn't plan on building a 5th sawmill unless I am blind the entire time, which you never know, could also be the case. But I really just don't see it. I see the 3. Never mind, I'm blind. How did I manage to count these as 3 the entire time? And I don't know, apparently they're 4 and 5, so there are 5 sawmills. Then I'm not confused. 5 sawmills, 2 toolsmiths. Is a lot more reasonable. I don't think you need a second toolsmith if you're only staying on 4 swords though. And the iron bar situation on Jessen's weaponsmiths has thinned out as the iron smelters kind of run short of coal. No clue what this ping is trying to tell me. There's a second one. Still not quite sure what that means. Probably just talking about the weirdness of those pioneering. Weirdness of the pioneering that's done there. Is it on? Actually we have 5 iron smelters. I have zero clue why every iron smelter is in the middle here. Weaponsmiths down there. Technically now 5 weaponsmiths. Issue though now is I think they aren't really perfectly running anymore as the iron bars aren't there anymore. He does already have quite a few weapons. Let me check with 53 weapons already. Issue here though is I say 53 weapons already. But somehow Slayer has quite a lot of weapons already as well. I think partially because he casted quite a lot of gifts and got a few out of that, but also because he does now have a larger heavy industry, or at least more weaponsmiths than Jessen, and they seem to be running probably as well as the ones from Jessen, as both kind of have the same issue at the iron smelters that coal just doesn't exist. But I think Jessen's coal situation looks a little worse. Now, are these thieves on are those thieves on a wait, I can't talk. Are those thieves on a mission? Yes, I think that's correct. I have zero clue. I'm confusing myself. But that is correct. Are those thieves on a mission? Because I have the... How many soldiers are here? He's building that barracks. That's huge. If those barracks finish up before this horde of thieves goes in here to steal the... Like, that's what I'm expecting. I'm expecting him to try to steal the gold and weapons from the front barracks, as they are right in front of his land. The thieves are starting to run over. The barracks being hammered. But it's not the bottom one, so soldiers that are recruited over there would have to run down here a bit. We don't really have lots of soldiers in this area. We have only this one bowman. I think I saw a swordsman somewhere in here. The thieves running out. And now the question is, does Jessen see it? This is the strongest offense you can do before peacetime. Trying to just use lots of thieves and steal some gold and weapons from the enemy. Now, does Jessen notice? Does Jessen start producing soldiers? He does not start producing soldiers yet. First bowman is shooting the first thief and killed the first thief. He is producing soldiers now. As striking settlers, I do not care about that. And the thieves are kind of running past the storage here. But some already got their stuff. Units are going up north. Yeah, there are lots of settlers thieves are managing to get out. Because the soldiers aren't going towards the storages. What a lovely play. And yeah, one bowman, just one tier 1 bowman specifically. Or I should specify. And now he Oh, Jessen will be so mad when he realizes that there are so many thieves that are just running out with the weapons and gold. I think that put Slayer in a settlers shortage that he did that. He needs to recruit. Oh my goodness, that's kind of funny. And yeah, a few of these C's will actually be caught before running out. But he has to be careful. Jessen has to be so careful. Jessen lost the tier 2 swordsman. Tier 3. Yes, I should say. That's lots of gold bars. Not that many bows, but lots of gold bars. And I think the gold situation on this map didn't look the greatest. Yeah, gold mines aren't that many yet. I mean, there are gonna be more and more. Like, you aren't gold capped in the long run, but the early gold wasn't the greatest. We're seeing the gold storage is already running dry a bit, and the diggers of Jessen apparently have not been the most active working diggers you've ever seen, as the sawmills did manage to run full of planks. Let's have a look at Slayer's settlement. He is still in that settlers shortage. It's quite a significant settlers shortage. Arguably, you can say it was not worth it stealing those weapons and gold bars, as that settlers shortage is probably costing him the same amount, if not more. Yeah, his sawmills are running, running full as well. Very wild. That's the move you make. If that makes a peacetime record? Yeah, that would be funny if that makes peacetime record, but I feel like it's not gonna, considering how the settlement is looking right now. I mean, we have now like 40 soldiers with 56 weapons still at 49 minutes. That's not crazy. And the heavy industry that's standing here isn't crazy either. I have like 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, soon to be 9 weaponsmiths. But yeah, we have like one of them only just now finished. Coal was really thin on the iron smelters for a long time, so iron bars only now actually being produced in an amount that it can go to the weaponsmiths. Some weaponsmiths are still idling. This one apparently isn't, because either one is now coming out. Now the iron bar's there, this dude should start working again. Yeah, but settlers shortage while you also have to recruit, otherwise yeah. Gold bars are running full. To be fair, yeah, he isn't even storing the gold ore away, so he greeded lots on gold ore, but now is not gonna be able to use the gold ore that he greeded on. Yeah, you can use the storages at the bottom here. But you're also not gonna be able to, I mean, it's probably the better play than recruiting at the current amount of settlers that he has. But you technically want to be recruiting, and I think, a few settlers are now standing. So he should at least start his storage. Maybe not yet, but very soon. He's building medium houses along the stone fields here at the top. Building lots of medium houses, to be specific. Nothing being built in these kind of areas. It's only up there. Yeah, on the other side, we kind of see the gold bar shortage, gold issue. Also see the gold issue manifest on the gold smelters missing coal, as at least iron smelters do now have coal. And iron smelters lose enough iron bars. We see some iron bars there. Iron seems to be fine, weapons seems to be fine, and it is right now still a coal shortage that right now is able to be seen on the gold smelters. Only upside to this is that he isn't, like, he's still using all of his gold ore, in the sense like he's storing it away. Does he have enough fish? Yeah, it seems like he has enough fish as well. But he just didn't greed onto gold ore as much as Slayer did. And is using the gold ore a little bit more. actively therefore as well. Yeah, we still have gold mines that are laying full of gold ore. Probably similar amounts of gold ore right now available for both players. That's an ore statistic. Yeah, an ore statistic not exactly telling me the gold ore situation. As I think... Yeah, we also have coal laying around. Yeah, settlers shortage did hurt quite a lot. As he seems to... he's kind of out of it. But he doesn't store away everything that would be available. Yeah, he did now start storing the gold bars again to the bottom there. And yeah, still has potential to recruit quite a few more soldiers. But I think it's mostly bringing them even. The grand heist he did. Stealing the weapons and the gold of Jessen doesn't really bring him into a huge advantage. As the settlers shortage followed soon after. Jessen is now using his sawmills again. Classic thing, pioneering a ton of large houses. You use your diggers, they are working, they're busy, you don't actually finish anything. Your sawmill stacking up, then your large houses all finish, or like digging of them finishes. Same time, all your sawmills completely empty for once. Yeah, rinse and repeat. Classic cycle with Troja. I think he did now probably finish his building of heavy industry, as it seems that he is expanding the mana economy. Let's have a check. We have 2 weaponsmiths. There 4, 6, and then I think we're on 8 in total. We have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11, 12. I think it's only... Nope. It's 15 gold smelters so far. I'd like to see probably like 3 or 4 more being added. And maybe some more coal mines, or maybe just... No, I think we need more coal mines right now as well. Like, these have actually been working, and these are gonna start. Yeah, these 2 have been working, but this one is only starting to work. And coal is still, yeah, not overflowing in a way where you have enough. You need more coal. Even the weaponsmiths are struggling. Oh, this is looking like a bad usage of the coal right now. Lots of iron bars, 0 coal on the weaponsmiths. And the iron smelters even still have some more coal. Yeah, settlers are available. But that is not helping you with a coal shortage. And I'm always looking at this kind of area here because it looks so populated. But settlers are managing to get through. And yeah, they all want to go to these mines with the food from there, or come with the ore from there to that heavy industry over there. Yeah, we have 56 minutes. Soldier count exactly even. But... Oh... Okay, I probably looked at it. It was exactly even. Or just a tiny bit there. Weapon count in advantage of Jessen. To be fair, probably more... Like, it's generally a very even game right now in terms of heavy industry or weapon gold available, soldiers available. Only issue is a little bit the gold bars on Jessen's side, but Jessen also already built combat power, which at least is visible in terms of the fact that he has 107 already, but he doesn't, like, he didn't build up with a crazy large build and already has 107, but 119 I think might not quite be in store, considering that most of it is already finished. Yeah, he already has a bit more tick later, I did see that. But it's even enough right now. Not be it's no crazy advantage yet. Thing is though, I assume that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, 11. Actually, did I count that? 1, 2, 3, 4, I think. Yeah, I did. 11 weaponsmiths for Slayer. Should be able to outproduce 8 weaponsmiths of Jessen. So Slayer should be able to produce more soldiers in the long run. That might be another weaponsmith by Jessen. Could be like a little bit of a gradual expansion of, oh, I built a little bit of sunflowers, now I build a little bit more of heavy industry, I build a little bit more of sunflowers. We'll see how that goes down the line in the game. Yeah, I mean, it's also like, I say more heavy industry, but it's really about what heavy industry is running, and right now it seems like that Slayer's heavy industry is actually running. It's more, it seems to be running, all of it, like I don't actually see any ore shortages anywhere or iron bars shortages. So yeah, that's the main advantage here. Now the question is, will Jessen reach 119 soon? Is he going to wait for 119? Is he attacking with 107? Is he even attacking quickly? Technically both players have around 100 mana available for combat if they want to use it for that. The mines of Jessen are gonna work for a bit longer, not an eternity. Definitely a bit longer. He also didn't play any sulfur to iron, I just want to mention that. Because like right now we're seeing again quite a bit of meat and not that much bread on the mines. That could be fixed if you'd be playing at least one sulfur mine. Play one sulfur to iron, that would already help the meat bread situation, meat bread balance, I guess. And he never towered over there. I really dislike that. There's a double iron mine, lots of coal mines. Why don't you get this lovely land, lovely mountain? Instead you're piling mine by mine by mine. I think these were gold mines, so kind of understandable. 107 defensive for Jessen is available. Yeah, we are seeing... Okay, ping. Whatever that might be. That is being pinged over there. Peace time is over. Both players are above 200 soldiers, but Jessen ran out of gold a bit and therefore made a few tier 2 soldiers. Both are kind of running into this open field over here. Yeah, outside of the land of both players, like both players have the same combat power outside of their land. And yeah, Slayer has a little bit more. Ooh, some invisible swordsmen, I think. I don't know if Slayer noticed them going invisible. I don't think he did. Some of the swordsmen weren't catched by the cast though, unfortunately. But they will still be popping out here, getting quite a good trade. Oh. No, Slayer is pulling to the tower because he was thinking the swordsman would pop out. Swordsman, where are you? Yeah, I think they're popping out there, but... I mean, they are not trading bad. Don't get me wrong, but like they are still instantly there. And he's completely crushing the left side because he completely got rid of the army. Just using thingy. Now soldiers are being teleported away. And now we see few tier 3 swordsmen from Alex coming, Slayer coming in the right side. Reinforcements coming in the right side for Jessen, and the left side is gonna be losing for Slayer, but same as the right side for Jessen. So this is classic one side wins, one side wins one side, the other wins the other. Perfect. One player wins one side, other player the other. That's a little bit more how I wanted to say that. But I think right now we're still seeing more soldiers on the field for Slayer, and it's not just on the field, it's also in the fight, as some of the soldiers that are technically there in the statistics aren't... Wait, I said that. But now that I look at it again, it changed the other way around. Probably should look at this statistic. Yeah, this is more accurate. Yeah, Jessen is ahead in terms of soldiers. Oh! Slayer did hit 190 now. He built a beautification set. I'm not gonna look at that right now. And 119 is gonna carry, especially as these soldiers aren't actually getting into the fight. Mana is drained for both players. Some of the soldiers back here are brought back to the front, but not all of them, and we are seeing tier 1 bowmen. And tier 1 bowmen might make the soldier count look even, but an even soldier count is not the same as an even tier 3 soldier count. Wise words from me there. As we can see that Slayer probably just wins the fight and also the game. Simply more quality and more soldiers on the field. These Cs are trying to get the weapons, but they're just gonna die. And we're seeing a mix of tier 3 and tier 1 soldiers fighting against tier 3 soldiers, where the tier 3 bowmen have 119 and the mix has 118. So not enough combat power there. I think if Jessen had 119, I should rephrase that. I think the mana usage wasn't optimal, to say the very least. You don't want to use it in enemy land, but you also don't want to lose it where the line was already one thin and you could have just altered forward to get those kills. Then you win the top side anyways, and then you can afterwards kind of use your mana in this line and win there, especially when only then the 119 ticked in for Slayer. Slayer is now pushing onto the barracks, and it seems like Jessen wants to go for a last stand here, with a few of his bowmen taking like a good position here. At the bottom is open, but that's just the issue of not having enough soldiers. It's a good position. These soldiers are actually kind of in the way a little bit. Another peacemaking. Recruiting inside the enemy bowman really hurts. I don't quite think he's gonna be able to defend that. As the economy is running, we have settlers. So yeah, we have an economy that is still running on this side as well, but this is just not enough to defend. I think this was really who used the mana better. It came down to that mostly. And I think the mana usage of Slayer was slightly better, as he didn't use it in the place where he was already winning. Like you can technically ban away the invisible swordsman, but he had so many soldiers there and it was only a few swordsmen that went invisible. So you can just kind of defend it by having your bulk of bowmen just kill them. And yeah, he just won that side, he traded well, and on the other side, he used the mana where the mana was used against him, which, yeah, the bowmen that were teleported away, the butterflies, all of them were useful, and he couldn't really have used them in a place, in a better place. I am surprised that Jessen did not crush yet. I think why? What is he up to? I mean, he did close the door. He's planning to continue playing for just a little bit. I mean, there's not a huge amount of soldiers in this area. He has the large tower shooting. Did just do a mass recruit everywhere. He does have quite a lot of weapons. I mean, I say quite a lot, but he barely has enough weapons. He has as many weapons as Slayer, and Slayer has actual soldiers on the field. Yeah, only thing I can think of what he's actively trying to do, trying to go for is these bowmen that are coming in, but they will take way too long. The door's open again, and I'm not aware of a priest anywhere close. Or I guess not, the door is now open, but before it just wasn't sealed anymore by the priest. And with that, Jessen calls a GG, as the tier 3 swordsman will make quick work of that large tower. And that was game 1 between Jessen and Slayer. I have actually zero clue if they've already scheduled a second game or if they're planning to do another game after this. That's gonna be a surprise to me in the interview here. I'd be down for a second game if they wanted to do it really quick. Yeah, this game was, to be fair, I think a large build-up by Slayer, small build-up by Jessen, but in the end, both pretty frontal barracks, and they just went in, took a fight, and Slayer just took it a little bit better of a mana usage, and probably also the swordsmen were used slightly better. Now I did crush really late, I did go out late enough that the tower was now actually fully crushed, and Slayer also gets AI bonus on the combat power, which is a little bit unfortunate. But we can still see roughly soldiers were there, gold bars weren't, because gold ore was actually there as well. It was just a huge coal shortage, not enough coal mines. Really would have liked the tower to the front there. Be able to actually recruit everything as tier 3 soldiers, and that would have probably also made the difference. Everything tier 3 would have helped. There are lots of things you can do better when you lose, usually at least. I'm gonna hop into the interview and translate as always. Okay, so apparently Slayer already places beautifications way earlier. Yeah, and he was scared about the beautification set not finishing, or he was scared because of it not finishing. Yeah, he was happy that the swordsmen weren't pulling towards the towers. Yeah. Jessen's conclusion to how he didn't get the 119 combat power is that he just didn't build enough. Yeah. Yeah. Question is how Slayer felt after getting the gold bars and weapons from Jessen. Yeah. Slayer thinks that they think that the play was pretty even. Like he thinks he lost more production than he gained. Yeah, but he also thinks that because he stealed weapons, it was very even in terms of like how much it gained him / actually hurt him, as I said. Less shortage afterwards was quite bad. Those things, doing it a little earlier would have been better, where he had still more settlers, and the settlers would have been back early enough. No question goes over to Jessen about those thieves. Jessen was shocked and realized it wasn't as bad. Did manage to get quite a lot back. And when he realized that there was in the settlers shortage afterwards, was very nice. Yeah. Yeah. I'm talking about the mental factor of that kind of play as well. Losing that gold and weapons can really make you feel bad. And the same thing goes for yourself, like getting it would be really nice. Jessen wasn't happy about the mine situation, and therefore he made the gifts to kind of get it back, but yeah, he still felt it when he needed the diggers. builders, he didn't have them. Yeah, a little bit of how Jessen still didn't go over the mountain to the middle. That went really far back, which Snea didn't do that much. Like both took different approaches, and one player just gets the core mines, the other player didn't. They're the unlucky. Why did I have the?
Und ja, ab dem Moment war
I
das
just realized I had
Kohleminen-Problem
Discord fully
halbwegs
muted.
gelöst,
So
glaube ich, für ihn, weil doch noch halbwegs nahe Kohleminen für die Schwerindustrie dann dabei kamen, während du, Stefan, dich so komplett auf die Suche nach Kohleminen überall sonst gemacht hattest, aber diese komplette Mitte einfach nicht angerührt hast. Also weder
yeah,
mit
talking more about the core,
Turm auspionieren noch mit
I've
Pionieren
mentioned
von
plenty.
Kohleminen. War das jetzt auch gar nicht so der Plan, weil du für deinen Push schon genügend Kohleminen hattest? Oder
Es
ja,
haben
hast
einfach
du.
die Werkzeuge für die Pioniere gefehlt. Die habe ich
Okay.
an anderen Stellen irgendwie halt
The tools were
gebraucht.
missing for the pioneers. I guess that kind of makes
Hätte
sense.
gerne mehr gehabt und genau das gemacht.
Yeah, he would have wanted to go over towards the middle there, towards the center,
Ist dann das Problem. Aber ja,
but he
ist
didn't really
nachvollziehbar.
have the pioneers. Now you
Ja,
could
gut.
argue that you would have wanted to
Haben die anderen Kommentatoren hier
make
gerade
some
noch
other
Fragen?
tool, like use tools differently to get pioneered over.
Mir fällt jetzt auch nichts ein.
Ja.
Ich glaube, wir haben viele Sachen angesprochen, die ja recht interessant waren in dem Game. Aber ja, das hat sich halt durchgezogen mit dem Kohleproblem die ganze Zeit. Ja, vielleicht dann doch noch eine Frage zu dem Holz-Setup bei dir, Alex.
Mm.
Also ich empfand es ein bisschen
Question about the
wenig
wood
Förster da am
from
Anfang. Ich glaube, du
there
bist mit einem Förster dann
forest setup.
in die Werke reingegangen. War das so eine
Yeah,
bewusste
yeah.
Entscheidung oder hat der
The like
Förster
one
nicht
forest
hingepasst? Oder
into
wie
toolsmith.
siehst du das allgemein mit Maya und Holzbauen vor der Werki?
So we're gonna get some
Ja, ich hatte
insight
sicherlich ein bisschen wenig
how
Holz
the
im
wood
Early Game.
income was.
Ja,
It says
das
he
war
did
am
have
Anfang ein
a
bisschen awkward. Ich habe den einen Förster nicht gesetzt
little
bekommen.
bit too
Dann da
too
den Baum
few
erst
wood.
weghacken müssen und habe dann auch einfach ein paar Minuten vergessen, da den Förster hinzusetzen.
Yeah, he wasn't able to place
Ich glaube,
the
2, 3 Minuten vor der
forester
Baumgrenze.
initially, and then also
Schon
forgot to
okay
place
gewesen.
it 1 or 2 minutes. So that's how
Ja,
he
so bin ich dann die ganze Zeit ein bisschen dem Baum
went
hinterhergerannt.
went
Auch so ein
into it
bisschen so
so
ein
late.
anfängliches Setup war dann nicht so optimal. Da hätte ich gerne ruhig ein bisschen mehr Holz gehabt. Also
Okay, so he wasn't happy, but it wasn't like an active decision of wanting
war dann auch
to
so ein bisschen der Grund,
reduce the
warum ich
wood
dann
income.
doch
Would have
noch
wanted to have more.
größer aufgebaut habe.
And
Neben
that
den super starken Eisenminen auf der Karte. Eigentlich war mein Plan hier auch einfach 4 Sägen zu spielen und eine Wecki und
Interesting.
spannend.
So that's how
Voll auf
also
PT,
a
weil ich
reason why
ja
he went a little bigger. He
schon
also
vor den
saw
Kasernen
the
gehabt habe, dass hier früh Action geben wird.
double iron mines.
Aber ja, da war ich so im Holzdefizit.
Wanted to only play 4
Dachte
sawmills
irgendwie, Eisen ist hier
initially.
for free. Ja, komm, dann zweite Wecki, 5. Säge. Let's go.
And then he went for the second toolsmith and
Ja.
5th sawmill, as he
Ja.
saw double iron mines. Iron won't be an issue, and he
Würde ich
can
sagen,
play
können wir es dabei
bigger,
lassen. Das war
more
jetzt euer erstes
easily,
Spiel.
get back the
Habt ihr
wood,
schon einen zweiten Termin in
get the
Aussicht?
wood back in.
Nein,
Du bist ja jetzt nicht da am Wochenende, Alex, oder?
Wochenende, genau, geht bei mir nichts.
Ja, dann
Mal
wird es erst
schauen, also-
nächste Woche soweit sein.
Spontanes Game
Ja.
2? Jetzt?
Nein.
Schade.
Nein.
Okay, so there won't be a
Dafür
spontaneous
dann
Game
am
2.
Wochenende aber wohl die Serie
Just asked about
Jagdtiger
that.
gegen Lemon. Oder zumindest war das
Und-
mein letzter Stand, dass die
Ja.
irgendwann am Wochenende stattfinden soll.
On the
Aber
weekend
die
we'll probably
Infos
have-
werden dann irgendwann, wenn der Termin offiziell über den Bot bestätigt ist, verbreitet werden. Und ja, insofern wären wir dann jetzt, glaube ich, auch fertig für heute. Und ja, bedanke mich fürs Spiel unter meine Co-Caster. Und wir sehen
Jo.
uns dann ja im Laufe des Wochenendes dann wahrscheinlich zum anderen Halbfinale, Lemon gegen Banzai. Und bis
GG.
dahin wünsche ich euch noch einen schönen Abend und bis demnächst. GGs.
Gleichfalls. Tschüssi.
Okay, that was the end of the interview and end of the caster stream as well. With that, I'll end it here as well. Next game will be between Lemon and Yakti, or next semi-final games that will be happening. Yes, there will be a game 2 of this as well. It's not yet scheduled. Will probably be next week from my understanding. Also, like, not on the weekend. And Yaktiga and Lemon will be playing this weekend. It's not exactly set in stone time and date-wise, but they will play on the weekend. That's very clear already. So, yeah, when the time is set, you'll see it in the Discord as always. With that, I hope you enjoyed it. And till then, bye-bye.